Today we're talking about probably the most controversial woman in English history, Anne Boleyn. And before anyone in the comments starts typing homewrecker, relax, breathe, touch some grass. Because today we're asking, was Anne Boleyn actually evil? Or was she just smarter than everyone around her? Let's talk about it. The villain narrative. So first, let's address the obvious. Anne Boleyn is usually painted as the other woman, the reason Henry VIII divorced Catherine of Aragon, the reason England broke from Rome, the reason everyone had religious trauma for the next 200 years, which is a lot to pin on one woman. But here's the thing. Anne did not show up in England like, "Hi besties, who wants to destroy Catholicism?" She grew up in France, she was educated, she spoke multiple languages, she read reformist ideas, she had opinions, which in the 1500s was basically a crime. The affair. No, yes. She got involved with Henry VIII, but here's where people get it wrong. She did not become his mistress. Unlike her sister Mary Boleyn, Anne refused to sleep with Henry unless he married her, which was bold, insane, risky, because this was Henry VIII, the king, the man who could literally ruin your entire bloodline. And she basically said, ring first, that's not seduction, that's strategy. Did she break up a marriage? Now let's talk about Catherine of Aragon. Henry had already been taking mistresses, and fearing for succession before he married or even met Anne, he desperately wanted a son. Catherine had only given him one surviving child, Mary. The annulment wasn't Anne's idea, it was Henry's obsession. And once the Pope said no, Henry broke from Rome, not because Anne whispered evil things in his ear, but because Henry had the emotional control of a toddler king. Was she power-hungry? And absolutely wanted power. But here's my question. Why is ambition only evil when a woman has it? And used her influence to promote reformist scholars, help the poor, support religious reform, which later influenced Elizabeth I's reign. She wasn't just sitting there being pretty. She was politically involved, which made people uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. The downfall, now here's where it gets dark, and failed to give Henry a surviving son. She had Elizabeth in 1533, which, yes, iconic future queen, but Henry wanted a boy. After multiple miscarriages, including what was likely a male fetus in 1536, Henry was done, and suddenly Anne was accused of adultery, incest, treason. With 5 men, including her own brother, be serious, there is zero solid evidence she committed those crimes. Even many historians agree the charges were politically motivated. Thomas Cromwell turned on her. Henry moved on, wishing to marry Jane Seymour, and Boleyn was executed on May 19, 1536. So, mother or monster? Here's my opinion. Anne Boleyn was not perfect. She could be sharp. She could be proud. She could be politically aggressive. But evil? No, she was intelligent, ambitious, and trapped in a system where a woman's survival depended on a man's favor. And when she lost that favor, she lost everything. And honestly, if Anne Boleyn had been a man, she'd probably just be remembered as a bold political reformer. Instead, she's the temptress who ruined England. Which feels convenient,